Hello, good morning. This is Francis from McCaffrey Crafts, and today you join me having my morning cup of tea. Reached the end of another week, and I thought I'd make a video just kind of introducing myself to all the new subscribers that since the start of the year, my subscriber count has doubled. I'm up past 3,000 subscribers now. So a lot of you probably don't really know who I am. You've seen a few of my videos, you've seen a few different things. So I thought I'd make a kind of video just kind of introducing myself. And if you really want to talk to me, I have a live stream every Friday at 6 p.m. GMT. So I'll be online for an hour tonight if you want to join the live stream and ask any questions or get to know me. So I do like to have these cup of teas and just have a chat from time to time. And it's always a good time to kind of make a video when you're having a cup of tea and you have some thoughts to yourself. So I thought I'd just kind of introduce myself to all the new subscribers. My name is Francis McCaffrey. I'm a 5th generation blackthorn stick maker. My father made and is making blackthorn shillelaghs. My grandfather made them as well. So we do have a tradition in our family of making blackthorn shillelaghs. My dad's family would have come from the Fermanagh area of Ireland, and then he moved down to the County Kerry area where he met my lovely mom, and so began the new lineage of Kerry McCaffreys, because I think we were the only McCaffreys here for a number of years. So I've always kind of been around blackthorn growing up. My grandfather, he would always be making blackthorn. He would give us the tweezers to help pull out little thorns that was in his hand, because he had some difficulty trying to see them when he got to later stage of life. And so it was always kind of like a game. And I always was aware of it. And, I just associated with blackthorn with old men, because you'd always see the old men with flat caps walking around holding a blackthorn in their hand. It seems to be almost like an extension of them, like a part of them. So I always kind of associated with that's the old fellas. They'd always hold like a blackthorn. I have vivid imagery of just kind of seeing, they'd be wearing their suits and they have their flat caps on, and they'd be hunched over the bar having a pint as well. So my early memories of blackthorn were just that, I was just as a kid looking at it, you just said, that's what old people have. But then as I kind of grew older and I read a bit more, I thought it was very interesting, the history around blackthorn, from the faction fighting, the Irish stick. I found it very interesting that there was this kind of forgotten martial art and of stick fighting. And also what I found really interesting was the strong tradition in County Kerry of faction fights, faction fighters, and how Munster, the province of Munster, was very prominent in, developing, the legends and the stories around blackthorn from a lot of the faction fights. So I thought, there's a bit more. This isn't just an old man's stick. This is actually something pretty cool. This is actually a weapon. So, so most guys, they're interested in knives and guns and weaponry and things like that. So I was like, there's a bit more. There's a bit more to this blackthorn than I thought. And then all the stories and the legends about it, and how the blackthorns are poisonous and it's kind of like a dangerous type of stick to cut and to cultivate. And as any young man, you hear danger and you're like, I'm in. You want to do something that's just a little bit reckless, and it's just part of being a young man in the world. And look, for me, I'm 43 years old this summer, and I've been doing blackthorn since probably about 2007. I went to college, got my college degree, got some work experience, went working in Asia for a number of years, and then I came back to Ireland. And when I came back to Ireland, I had pretty good experience and qualifications, but it meant nothing in rural Ireland. When you come back to rural Ireland, and you're just married and you have a kid, and having the best college degree in Ireland for business and stuff, it meant nothing. You had to kind of like start over again. So I got my jobs in marketing, was involved in Irish craft industry for a number of years, and that was kind of what I was doing. And because I was involved in Irish crafts a lot, I got involved in making blackthorn. I went out and started cutting it. I remember, making all the mistakes that everyone does when they're new to blackthorn. And I went to the markets. I used to quite enjoy, and still do, if they ever come back, going to the markets. The car boot sales, the craft fairs. This kind of showing off your skill and what you would do. And that was kind of my progression into blackthorn. It's because I was heavily involved in the craft industry, and I kind of wanted to make some Irish crafts myself, and my family had a kind of heritage involved in blackthorn, so it was kind of just a natural progression into it. And it started as a hobby. When you're a man, you need to have your own space, you need to have your own place to go. So to go out like everyone has their little man cave or something like that, but for me, I kind of like going out to the shed, having my space, get away from, when you're a young man, a young family, there's always going to be the crying baby and the nappies and different things. And, whenever there's a nappy change about to be had, that's when you got to escape to your shed, So yeah, I started in that. And initially, it was after, everyone remembers in 2008 and in 2009, the banks, pretty much lost everyone's money, and the banks needed to be bailed out, and the government in Ireland decided that the Irish people were going to pay back, for bailing out the banks, and they put austerity procedures into Ireland. They introduced this USC tax, which, they took 200-300 euro out of my salary every month, just, because the banks had messed up. And of course, Irish people being Irish people, sure, whatever, sure. If it was a country like France, they'd be out rioting in the street and look at the French farmers, and they stand up to Macron and everything. But in Ireland, it was just austerity, sure, let's just go with the flow. It's very kind of Irish mentality. So back in those days, I was kind of very concerned because a young man, family, and I was looking at ways. And so I kind of was, I said, look, if I can, do the sticks, sell a bit at the market, and try to help me each year to pay back any loans that I had, or to pay back some bills. And so initially it started like that. And it was selling on eBay and selling at the markets, and slowly but surely, I started to gain some reputation. And at that stage, I just didn't have the stock to make it a full-time business. I just used to cut. I think in my first year, I cut something like 56, 66. And in my second year, I cut about the same. And, when I would go out, I'd walk for ages. I'd cut 2 or 3 sticks and walk home, and I thought I was a champion. I'd say, oh, look at this, I've got these sticks. But I wasn't quite formed into a business yet. It was always like a hobby, and just to sell a bit at the markets, not too much. And it would pay for the loans and pay for, eventually it got to a stage where I could pay for the loan, and it could pay for a little holiday for us. And at this stage, I was still involved in the craft industry, and still going to a lot of trade fairs and events, and working with an Irish very prominent craft business as well. And it kind of developed from there. Kind of every year it got a bit bigger and bigger, and then there's a few bloggers that started posting about me, and they wanted to know about my family histories and traditions. And slowly then it started to grow and grow, and it kind of made me think, look, there could be something in here. But I had to sit down and say, look, what are the strengths, the weaknesses of this type of business, and how to actually make it into a business. Because there's a reason why there aren't that many people doing blackthorn. if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. It's actually not easy at all. It's very difficult business to get into. Everyone, they just think it's quite easy. And that's, one of the things I see all the time. They just say, oh, sure, you just cut a stick, paint it black, and away you go. And if it was that easy, you might be a millionaire already. But it's not. Tough business. It's highly competitive. It's very difficult to get the stock. It's very physically demanding as well. You have to put in a lot of hours for the return that you get. So it's it's a tough business to make it into a business. And I figured it out. It took me a while, but I figured out how to make it a living and how to make a business from it. And it was kind of great then, because then I could have the independence of working for myself. And there's something to working for yourself. If anyone has worked or is working for a company or for someone else at the moment, like, you have to get up. You have your manager who's if you're a few minutes late, he's looking at you like with his evil eye or her evil eye or whatever, and you just don't feel that kind of comfort, and there's a great thing in working for yourself. And another thing too is I take great pride in what I do, and I genuinely enjoy that I make something that helps people, in terms of walking aid, or a connection to Ireland. This is a product which grew in Irish soil. It's taken the nutrients of the soil and it's grown. So when you buy a blackthorn shillelagh, you're buying a piece of Ireland. Literally, it's grown in Ireland. It's been bombarded by Irish winters, by Irish wind, by Irish rain. It's grown in the harshest conditions. And when you buy a blackthorn shillelagh, you're getting a piece of Ireland, and that's, I take great pride in that. That I'm projecting an image of Ireland. I'm very proud of my country. I do love Ireland quite a lot. And the idea then that I'm making something that helps people, that gives them a connection to Ireland. Like, a lot of people around the world, they have some connection to Ireland. They have some distant relatives there. They're interested in some aspect of it. So to have a product that's literally grown out of the soil of Ireland, you own a part of Ireland. And I just kind of like that I know that all around the world there's this thing that grew out of Irish soil that I'm helping to get to people. And I take pride in that. And I take pride in my work. I like being able to make things to help people. I think, the ability to produce something, to make something, there's something really rewarding in that you're contributing to society. You're making something. You're not just just trying to look for some easy thing to do. I think that everyone, if you have that mentality, and every guy should have a hobby where they're creating something, where they're trying to make something, producing something. I think you never know, one of these hobbies, sooner or later they might start to take off. And the best situation is that a hobby that you love and adore becomes your full-time job. And that's what happened to me. It became my job, and it still is my passion. I complain about the injuries and when I get blackthorns and different things like that, but you always have a love-hate relationship with any job that you have, just like with any partner in life that you have as well. There's days that you're in love, and there's days that you're like, what's going on this day? There's a bit of pain involved in this day. And that's kind of how I kind of came about into blackthorn. And look, I'm a kind of personal guy, and I know that we have a lot of new subscribers now, so you can always reach out to me with any questions you have. I still have a bunch of questions I have to make YouTube videos for, but I'll get to them in time. The next new batch of sticks I have should be probably Sunday or Monday, and I should have, if everything goes to plan, about 30 new sticks online by then. And again, remember, I have a live stream tonight at 6 p.m. every Friday, Irish time, 6 p.m. GMT. Just Google it to wherever your region is, and they'll tell you the time difference and stuff like that. And thanks for watching, and again, thank you for subscribing to get to 3,000. It's a good feeling to know that at least people enjoy your content on some level. All right, thanks for watching. I gotta get back to work making some sticks. Bye bye.